They hear what others don't. Our three heroes are ready to take any test to prove that they have perfect pitch. In pursuit of a wrong note, will Yekaterina manage to catch all the mistakes made deliberately by the musicians performing this classical piece of music? In the world of dissonance, will Tatiana be able to tell what notes are hidden behind these non-musical creaks, rustles, engine roars, and wailing of a car alarm? Play it if you can. Will Andrei and Alexei manage to reproduce this piece of music on their unusual instrument without making any mistakes? Who will manage to surprise our program's finicky experts? Whose hearing will pass the test? Who will we determine to be the strongest and help learn about the nature of their outstanding ability? Watch us and you'll find out.
Hello, my name is Yekaterina Lipinyuk. I'm 29 and I'm from Moscow. I've known that I have perfect pitch since childhood, since the day when my mother took me to an audition at a music school when I was 4.
Her unique pitch helped Ekaterina easily finish the music school, college, and then Ganesan Academy. Thus, music has become not only a hobby, but a way of life for her. Today, Ekaterina is a professional pianist and piano tutor.
When I hear a melody, I immediately know what notes it consists of. I mean, I can define the pitch of sounds. I can come up to the piano and play the melody at once. I can say that's a great advantage for those who practice music. And in general, it helps me a lot in my profession. Hello. Hello, my name is Yekaterina.
Hello.
Dear experts, I have perfect pitch.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
You're really lucky.
Thank you.
Dear Yekaterina, today we want to find out what perfect pitch is. A lot of people talk about it, but nobody can define this, so to speak, unique ability, where it comes from or its qualities. We decided to give you some tests to clarify this to some extent at least. The first task will be to say in what key this piece is played.
Aha.
Well, you don't need to study the score for that.
Just in case.
No, that's not necessary. You'll see.
Aha.
Now, the original key. A lot of musicians already know it, as this music is quite popular. Then we'll ask you to tell us in what key it will be played.
Is that it? Okay, let's try.
Yes, let's try.
Hardly had the musicians started playing the Adagio, a famous work of Venetian composer Alessandro Marcello, when Ekaterina was ready to give her answer.
The original work is in D minor, but the musicians played it in C minor, one tone lower.
Dear musicians, did Yekaterina give the right answer?
Yes, absolutely right. The original work is in D minor, but Christina played Marcello in C minor.
Great! Applause. Wonderful. Well, we're now moving on to the popular, so to speak, understanding of the perfect pitch. Everyone thinks that those who have a good ear for music not only reproduce melodies in the right way, but can also define in what key the music is played, like you. But first of all, they hear that the note is wrong. And now, we'll give you a quick different composition, and you'll tell us what. Yes, what was wrong?
The catches in this piece were very carefully planned. Some inaccuracies in the performance of Handel's The Arrival of Queen of Sheba sound really subtle, and some are much too obvious. In this way, the trio is trying to trip Ekaterina up, so that against the background of obviously wrong fragments, she won't hear smaller mistakes in the performance.
Well, wonderful. You see, that's a truly big piece of music. Yekaterina, what do you say?
I think there were quite a lot of wrong notes there, played by the oboes in particular. I guess somewhere near the end of the wrong notes were played by the piano. There must be D, C, D, B, A, B, A in the passage. Yet I heard D flat, C, D flat, C. But that was closer to the end of it. The oboes also had some, inaccuracies, half a tone. At some moment, they played D flat instead of D. In particular, there was a cadenza, when two oboes were playing solo, and the final note, the low one. Yes, I think they played D flat instead of natural D, something like that. Yet I can't tell you the specific bars.
Well, sure, of course.
I don't know this work. And there were definitely, 4 to 5 wrong notes in the oboes.
Are you talking of the notes or even fragments? Well, how do I say it? Individual sounds or still?
I think individual sounds, it didn't seem to me they were.
Okay, yes.
Any false bars or fragments?
Yekaterina, tell me, a musician or a music lover, without perfect pitch, could a person like that hear those wrong notes?
Well, when, say, the tonic chord is played, we have a major, but the tonic is played with a lower third step, like that, and we hear a minor. I guess even a person without perfect pitch could hear that.
Thank you so much, Yekaterina. We've heard your opinion. And now we'd like to ask the opinion of the musicians who planned, yes, some wrong notes in their performance. Did Yekaterina give the right answer?
Yes, right. I made two, so to speak, planned mistakes and played half a note lower. She even guessed the right note, D flat. Really, half a note lower. And at the end of it, the pianist made a mistake as well, so she was absolutely right saying that at the beginning and in the middle of the piece. In the bridge, oboes make mistakes in their solo.
Ekaterina proved to us that she has a really unique ear, yet can it be called absolute? To find out, our experts prepared another very difficult task.
We have another task for you. Let's call it advanced.
Fine.
You'll hear several sounds which are not connected to music. Some noises, creaks, rustles, and so on.
Rustles?
Yes. Robert Schumann, a famous German composer, recommended professional musicians listen to these, so to speak, non-musical sounds to develop their ear. So, you'll have to try and find the same key on the piano keyboard, okay? The same note. And we'll try to judge, yes?
Whether they are the same or not?
Whether they're the same or not, right? Are you ready?
Yes.
Let's go then.
Let's give it a try. Well, there was the rising sound there.
Aha, but the longest one, the one on the very top?
Well, the one on the top was somewhere around E, E flat, somewhere there.
Aha, yes. Next.
This one is difficult. The sound is not very musical, but I guess it's around E flat? But I'm afraid I'm mistaken, in fact.
Press this key. We'll think together.
No.
No.
This was not E flat. That was a bit lower, I guess. I think somewhere around B. Well, no, there was a second there. I think it would be right to play a second. No, that's not it.
Well, we're getting closer.
No. Well, I feel like it's too difficult for me.
Why did our participant find it difficult? The thing is that each of the fragments she was to listen to consists of several non-musical sounds at once, and each of them splits into various glides and side tones. To identify all the components, so to speak, to define those which can correspond to the keyboard notes and play them, and to do it quickly and without any mistakes, this task is within the scope of abilities of the few, even if a person is gifted.
That was a lower register. The sound is secondary. That is to say, it's not clean.
Yes, something like that. Splits. Aha. Yes.
Oh, that's interesting. Well, I don't know. I can probably define the sound range. There are a lot of sounds there. It's like the sound of waves or a moving car. But I think there was a low register there. Well, something like that. I don't know. No, higher? Aha, higher. Well, something close to an octave or maybe a decimal. Well, here was a clear note.
Well, yes, that's for sure. Well, you see, Ekaterina, Tchaikovsky wouldn't have gotten it right, right?
Well, we just never heard such sounds, I guess.
Scriabin, Wagner, we're both proud of the fact that they didn't have perfect pitch. You've already outdone them.
Well, you never know. Thank you.
In general, there's nowhere to grow from here.
So in the last task, Ekaterina made several mistakes at once. Will the experts take into consideration the difficulty of the test in evaluating her abilities? We'll find out later in the program.
My name is Tatiana Divnogorskaya. I'm 20. I live in Moscow. I have absolute pitch. No, I wasn't born with it. I developed it when I was 4.
Tatiana came to our studio to prove that even this rare and unique ability can be tamed and developed on your own. In any case, she's sure that she managed to do it. Though as a child, she had such a tin ear that she couldn't sing without people feeling sorry for her. Her parents insisted on her having private classes with a tutor. In 18 to 24 months, she reached the goal.
My ear for music was tested at the music school where I studied as a kid, then at the Nesson School, and Ippolitov Ivanov State Musical Pedagogical Institute where I studied music theory. Everywhere they told me I had perfect pitch. I've had absolute pitch since I turned 6. I'm absolutely sure that it fully complies with the academic requirements, and I'm ready to prove it here today.
If I ask you to sing a note, can you do that? Or do you know the sounds by ear only?
I could do that once. Let me check now. That was long ago.
Oh, so you mean to say you not only hear the pitch of a tone, yes, and can say what note it is, but you can reproduce this pitch as requested? Tone? Well, for
Yes.
example, give us a first octave E if that's comfortable. Let's ask the pianist to play it. Could you please give us an E? You did it. Indeed. It's clear, I guess. Thank you very much. Well, you told us the truth, yes. You're not exaggerating. Well, let's have another test. You'll now hear a piece of music by Nicola Porpora, a well-known Italian composer whose most famous student was Joseph Haydn. You all know what a popular opera composer he was. Listen to a fragment and try to define the highest and the lowest notes of this score, including, of course, all the instrumental parts that you hear. You just need to remember the highest and the lowest notes of the score.
At first sight, this task seems far from easy. However, our experts are sure that if Tatiana really has absolute pitch, she will deal with it easily.
Tatiana, what was the highest note? And who gave it? The highest, aha.
The elbow, it gave the highest note. Definitely. It was a third octave D, if I'm not mixing up the octaves.
Well, you, as the oboist, what do you say? Please confirm or deny the highest note.
That was correct. The highest was the third octave D on the oboe. The lowest was the great octave G on the piano.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay, Tatiana, another task. You'll have to define the tone color of the work you hear.
With all deviations?
Are you ready?
With all cadences, if any?
Yes, as much as you can say after you listen to it.
A tone color is the sequence of all passages and tone deviations in the composition. To define all these subtleties by ear and to make no mistake, even our experts say that it's a very difficult task. Let's see if Tatiana copes with it.
C sharp minor is the key.
From the start?
No, first it was F sharp minor.
Is that how it started?
Yes.
Yes, aha.
It started with F sharp minor,
Aha.
ended in C sharp minor.
Any signs of other keys?
I think I heard B minor as well.
Tatiana answered almost without a second thought. Impressive. But is she right?
At first, she was right. Scriabin's etude in F sharp minor, which I just played, really started in F sharp minor and ended in C sharp minor. I'll show you. And it ended like that. Yes, but between the beginning and the end, there were other keys. The first was B minor, and the dominant chord in C sharp major. It was difficult to recognize, in fact. Why? Because the beginning of this fragment is based on a tonic pedal point.
For a person who acquired an ear for music in the course of persistent studies, Tatiana is showing good results. Yet, are they phenomenal? We'll find out after the third and most difficult test, which all participants of today's program will have to take, by the way.
Up to now, all tasks have been connected with music and are, so to speak, within the sphere of your professional expertise. But the next task will be connected with noises, which aren't musical in nature. So, if you're ready, we'll ask you to find an identical note on the keyboard. Yes, so we can check how you manage it. Are you ready?
Yes, go on.
Please.
With pleasure.
We prepared for Tatiana a new set of 5 non-musical noise sounds. Let's check if she can correlate them with notes and define the exact pitch of each of them.
The main sound was here,
Aha, yes, right. Aha.
but I also heard a C glide.
Uh-huh, yes, right. Almost 100%, yes.
I would say that this sound belongs to the category of absolute noises. That may be far-fetched, of
Aha,
course.
yes, yes. Low, not high at first, right?
Yes, of course, low.
So,
This is a sub
I think higher.
contra octave C, but
Yes, somewhere around there. Well, sounds similar.
every second has a glide.
A bit more.
Yes, I mean C, C sharp, D.
A glide. Could you play it?
Like that, if we break it down.
Aha.
Like that. Could you play it again? That was a lot. The second sound was if.
No, lower. Yes, lower.
If it's an octave lower,
This is difficult, yes?
too many glides.
Well, this one is more difficult. Too many, yes. Thank you, yes. Thank you, yes. Well, I'll say you coped well with this. This is a hard task. What a test. If you can do it, you really do have absolute pitch. There will be no doubt.
It would seem that Tatiana's abilities have really impressed our experts, but it's too early to draw any conclusions. Besides, we're ready to welcome not one, but two participants at once. A band from Togliatti.
Hello, my name is Alexei Filin. I'm 29, I'm from Togliatti, and I have absolute pitch. My name is Andrei Popkov. I'm 28, I'm from Togliatti as well, and I have absolute pitch too. Our band is called Sommelier Duo.
Button accordion players of the Togliatti Philharmonic Orchestra, professional choir singers, members of an unusual music duo, and friends, Andrei and Alexei, found out they have absolute pitch when they were children. That was over the course of an audition at a music school. And after they finished it, they decided that their life was to be connected with music. Could it be another way with abilities like that?
When I press any key, let's say on the piano or another instrument, I hear distinctly what note it is. I don't think of the pitch, it's just that all the notes have their tone quality, their special color, and you simply can't confuse them.
Like any other person with absolute pitch, these guys hear all wrong notes at once. That's an advantage and a disadvantage at the same time. Strange as it may sound, they say, any performance errors Andrei and Alexei hear both at work and in life make them feel really uncomfortable.
I can detect where the error was in the performance. If it's a vocal performance, I can feel that it was too low or too high. That's an unusual feeling. In fact, it gets irritating. You feel like correcting it, changing, or altering it. Yeah, that's what it's like.
Andrei and Alexei haven't come to the studio empty-handed. They decided to show their unique ability with the help of a no less unique instrument.
Hello, dear experts. My name is Alexei. My name is
Yes,
Andrei.
I'm really happy.
Hello, nice to meet you.
We're from the town of Togliatti, and we play the glass harp.
An unusual instrument. I would call it unique. Unique, yes. Beautiful.
It's the biggest instrument like this in Russia. In Russia.
How did you find it?
About a year ago.
That's it?
Not long ago, yes, we had this idea. We wanted to astonish people. Our town. Well, our town and the district, yes.
Well, maybe you'll show. I'm interested to hear it played.
We're going to perform a piece for you, show the instrument's possibilities.
A glass harp is, in fact, a set of glasses filled with water. As a rule, it consists of 30 to 40 glasses. In the Two Men from Togliatti's harp, there are 51 glasses, and they are not arranged at random. If you turn the whole instrument 90 degrees, it will be absolutely like the button accordion keyboard, which is an instrument familiar to these two musicians. Changing the size of the glasses, their shape, and the amount of water in the glasses, the instrument has a range of 3.5 octaves. The classic glass harp has only 2, at most 3 octaves.
Bravo, bravo. We liked it very much, but we want to test you. You'll hear a piece of music now, and then you'll have to play it on your instrument. No, well, the piece is short. The piece, of course. It's not a real piece of music. A small fragment, which is usually given to applicants at music schools.
It's just... look.
Of course, the range of the glass harp is not enough to reproduce a fragment of the famous toccata and fugue in D minor by Johann Sebastian Bach. But that's the idea. To accomplish it, the duo will have to be really inventive.
Of course, the organ doesn't sound very good on the glass. On the glass, yes. Less grand would have been better.
Well, it's something different in my opinion. Well, we already said that it's like infant Bach, yes? We want to make it harder for you, yes? To make you untune your instrument, pour all the water out of it, yes? And then I'll play, well, a short melody, and you'll tune it again and try to reproduce it. Ready?
Okay, yes.
Well, this is going to be an experiment. Go on. Each of you will now hear one fragment, and you'll write a kind of musical dictation, but on your instrument instead of on paper. Are you tuning it?
Yes, I'll tune it now. I mean each glass, as they all have a different pitch. It can't be made higher, but the more water you pour in, the lower the tone gets.
Tuning a glass harp is a long and difficult process. 1 to 2 millimeters of water can fully change the sound of the glass. In order to reproduce this short fragment, it took Andre at least 5 minutes to prepare the instrument.
We're impatient to hear this crystal sound on your glass instrument. Perfect. Oh, well, that was perfect. Perfect. Okay, next. Yes. Are you ready? Well, maybe you could in fact sing this. That's great. Now there's only a little left to do, to deal with the water. By the way, absolute pitch here means to be able to tune this instrument correctly. Well now, yes. As to hearing all those half tones, to hearing whether water needs to be added or not, and how much. Yes, this is virtuosic. That's where absolute pitch is needed, as the melodies themselves are not that difficult, I guess. Aha.
I'm ready. So?
Did you modulate it? Yes, one note. So together, right? Well done. beautiful melody. Well done. Yes, that was great.
If you say so.
Applause, bravo.
Despite the beauty of the instrument and its perfect tuning, the experts weren't able to agree on Andrei and Alexei's abilities. They decided to dot their I's with the help of one task. You may have already guessed what that task is going to be.
Ready?
Ready.
Go on.
Between D and C.
No, that's too high. I guess you got used to your glasses.
D flat. C, I guess.
Yes, yes, something like that. Oh, a bird twitting.
Which of these sounds?
Any. Go on.
Could you repeat it?
Well, the higher the easier, probably. Yes, yes, something like that, right.
A lot of sounds.
Well, only 2 sounds, in fact. Well, somewhere here. Close to B-A-C-H, yes. Close to Bach, yes. Yes, this is very much better. Well, yes, sure. Yes, like that. They managed the task perfectly and accomplished everything possible. Once again, we were made well aware that noises vary extremely. If the sound is pure in pitch, that's a 100% hit. But if the sound is indistinct and covers some area, so to say, yes, it's a piece of a range but a distinct sound, any person, whether they have absolute pitch or not, will get lost. Yes, they will define the range, but it'll never be precise. At least that's our opinion. So, well done. You coped with that very well.
Our participants' tests are over. Time to come to some conclusion.
So we have to choose only one, right?
Obviously, they are on about the same level.
All of them, yes. All of them have absolute
There are no geniuses here,
pitch.
but the clear absolute pitch.
Yes, all of them have it. All of them.
All of them, yes.
Well, let's start from the beginning.
Specifically, yes?
Yes, specifically.
Okay, Ekaterina was the first, yes?
Yes, yes.
Participant, well, so.
Well, everything was fine.
Everything was fine, yes, all in all.
Everything.
She heard everything.
Everything was fine. The only thing is, remember, there were some minor things in almost all the tasks, apart from the easiest, I mean. Well, in the noises, when she was asked to define the wrong note, there were no 100% hits. Well, that's an average, really average absolute pitch, let's put it that way. I guess I was really happy to watch the last performance. The musicians who offered a new, so to speak, well, maybe not completely new instrument to produce the sound, I think we need to support them. Though I'm not sure they should take part in the competition. I guess, yes, if we're talking about the future study of absolute pitch, then I think not. Yet we need to support them somehow. I don't know how. I have no idea, so to speak. The audience supports them. They give concerts. It's like a circus act. It's a circus performance. That's because they give concerts. A circus performance, right. Yes, a circus performance, and it's beautiful. The 2 girls and the 2 guys, they all demonstrated undeniable absolute pitch. Yes, they can define the pitch of a sound. They were right in determining the key, and sometimes they were even right in the hardest task of all, with the noises. Yes, the noises, right. Well, where it was more, they got it right, yes. Specific, there was a specific tone. There was where it was a bit easier. Tatiana was more confident, by the way. The best result, yes. You know, count me in. As for Yes, it was really difficult. I would like to say Scrabian's tone color is really challenging. By the way, that was her as well. This, yes, she showed it. Yes, I guess. Tatiana, yes. In this respect, she also was. Well, in fact, it's difficult to judge. Well, she has a degree in music theory. That speaks for itself. Yekaterina was also very convincing. Very. In all, Yekaterina is very good. She's a pro, right? A real pro. Well, she deserves second place then. Well, if Yekaterina? Yes. The first place is Tatiana's. The first place? Tatiana, yes. Yes. In the third place? The duo. The boys, yes, the duo. Yes, Alexei and Andre. Wonderful. Absolutely correct. That will be right. Yes, we'll give first place to Tatiana. Tatiana, right. Tatiana.
Tatiana managed to prove that even such a rare, unique ability as absolute pitch can not only be developed, but also turned into a phenomenal power. However, our experts still can't understand how she managed it. Is it possible that as a result of sustained training, her acoustic analyzer changed physiologically? That's what we're trying to find out. Tatiana will undergo a series of tests at the Scientific and Clinical Center of Otorhinolaryngology of the Russian Federal Medico-Biological Agency. Audiologist Anton Mokolov, a candidate of medical sciences, will help us understand how Tatiana's unique hearing works.
Tatiana, we'll start with the right side. As soon as you hear a sound, press the button. The signal is repeated quite often, so when you hear it, you press the button and then release it. Your task is to press the button when you hear a signal of any magnitude, soft or loud, okay? If you have any questions, ask them as we go.
This classical study is called tone threshold audiometry. It will help define the thresholds of frequency range for various signals. The standard rate is from 0 to 25 decibels. Within these limits, a person can hear and perceive human speech. However, these limits aren't enough to hear the difference of tones and halftones in musical works. We'll get Tatiana's results in a moment.
Your hearing thresholds are in decibels from 0 to -10. These negative figures don't mean that you hear negative sound other people can't hear. Your thresholds are much higher, lower than 0, so it's easier for you to define these sounds, as you hear them much quicker than someone with standard classical hearing abilities, so to speak.
The next test on defining speech discrimination Tatiana passed without any outstanding results. Her results are standard. Yet over the course of tympanometry, an examination used to test the condition of the middle ear, Anton found a few curious details. The muscles which protect the eardrum from loud, dissonant sounds turned out to be exceptionally sensitive to acoustic influence.
The muscle in our middle ear contracts when the volume level is between 80 and 90 decibels. In your case, it starts contracting at the level of 60 decibels. This means the muscle is more sensitive. It can distinguish and start contracting. Provide its function, yes, the function of ear strain, yes, so that the eardrum in the middle ear works in such a way so that your ear hears the maximum amount of sounds around you. Physiologically and audiologically speaking, your ear perceives the slightest deviations much easier.
Thus, after all these studies, we found out that as a result of sustained training, Tatiana's acoustic analyzer really did change physiologically. It is amazing to see what can be achieved with motivation and hard work.